pleasure of introducing our speaker for today, Isabelle Aldridge. Isabelle has been a chapel member since 2014, serving 3 terms on the board of directors. She's an active supporter of chapel activities and a reader here at our psychic fairs. She has a master's degree in national security and terrorism and a bachelor's degree in international studies and Middle Eastern studies. She has many unique abilities, and one of them is the gift of languages. She currently speaks about 8 languages and is also currently studying Native American culture. Isabelle is a native of France, has 2 adult children, enjoys Tai Chi and Qigongs, thank you, loves Mother Nature, enjoys do-it-yourself projects, and spending time with her dog, Popper. So please join me to welcome Isabelle.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning, spirits and angels. Today, I would like to speak about something that was reminded to me recently. I'm actually studying something right now that has to do with meditation, but on a deeper level. And it's a method that was used by the military in the 1970s. By studying this, I'm hoping that it will take me to a higher level by helping other people. But, and I'm sure you know that every so often our angels have a little sense of humor because they love to remind you of certain things that you need not to forget in your life. So when I was reading this book, I thought, well, here we go again. One of the things I've noticed, people are very miserable. I don't know, you drive a car, you're driving, it looks like somebody is, excuse my expression, going to a funeral because they're so unhappy to go to work. So they're not smiling. It's like, oh my gosh, another day at work. I come to realize, reading this book, that the biggest obstacle in your life is actually yourself. We have so many things that surround us that can help us with our everyday life. But of course, for some people, the biggest obstacle is themselves. In order to live a life of abundance and beauty, we have to learn to disengage from our own self-judgment. The biggest distraction of our hard-headed and analytical conscious mind, which is 6 to 8% of our brain, that predominantly operates within a comfortable beta frequency. A lot of people have a hard time quieting the inner dialogue. Let go of the ego, let go of self-doubt, and let go of the outcome. The inner dialogue is the nagging voice inside of us that speaks to limits. And I'm sure, if not all of us, most of us have experienced it. It is not the voice of your highest self or of the unconscious mind. It is the voice of your conditioning, the voice that speaks in conclusive and judgmental phrases, such as I'm not good enough, I will never make it. This voice can be our greatest obstacle if we allow it. But if you train it, you can actually turn that voice into a fierce passion for anything you want to accomplish. So how do you distract from it? By focusing on something that makes you happy, by not watching the news that brings you negative information, or looking at your email flooded with junk. I'm guilty of that. With our biggest obstacle, which is ourselves, there is another obstacle that comes into life, our ego. Ego is who I am. It is what I do. It is my accepted identity. And it is my manifest behavior. The Old Testament states, as a man thinks, so is he. Most people believe ego is that which protects, that which allows your unbridled belief in what is possible for you. Unfortunately, the condition most people encounter in life presents the exact opposite of kind of ego. Most of us have egos that set hard beliefs in shortages. We fulfill with self-talk such, I can't do that. I can't find abundance. I can't find love. It is too hard, and so on. Throughout your life, you have encountered any number of events which created a situation that you assigned an emotion. This emotion cannot exist alone. It must be supported by a belief. And it is this belief that you accept as an identity, as your ego. I'm going to give you an example. When I was in middle school, and I recently spoke to my sister about this, I had a math teacher. Lucky me, I'm the third in the family. My oldest brother is a math teacher in France. And of course, as luck would have it, I ended up having this math teacher. So the first year I had her in music, it was great. I had great grades. The third year, I just happened to have her again. And well, geometry is not my favorite, but I love algebra. Most of the tests were done at home, except for one, an algebra test. So I took my test home and I did it, turned it in. And when it was time to give the grades, of course, this wonderful person would say, for example, Dina, 0, 5, so on. And her two favorite girls, of course, they have the highest score. She comes to one, she says 13, 15. And she said, well, that's a surprise. Isabelle, 19 out of 20, because our grades are on 20, not 100. And she threw the paper on my table and said, thank you, brother, for doing your homework.
Oh.
So I said, well, my brother didn't do it because at the time he was at the university studying to become a teacher. And she said, well, there's no way you could have done that. You're too stupid. You'll never amount to anything. Needless to say, I went home, told my mom, that's it, I'm done with math. I will never do anything. But somehow I managed to have, the average math to go up. But apparently that followed me for quite a bit in my life. So this is a good example of what people can do to you. Behavior attracts like behavior. It is a continuing cycle that can only be broken by choice. You must choose to step out of it, to amend it, and establish another, more positive and loving identity. Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, one will meet with a success unexpected in common powers. Let go of the ego that sets the limit for you, that limits your promise and possibility. Do not focus on what is missing, but rather focus on what is present, on how much you are enjoying life and learning from it. The present is the moment in between the past and the future. It's a fragment. See yourself surrounded by the condition you want to see. And anytime you find yourself not in this cycle, know that you are resisting and just step out of it by choice. This is how you quiet the negative dialogue of the ego. See yourself in a condition of success, but do not engage in any practice from a perspective of the ego that says, I can do this on my own. You also have to let go of self-doubt, which is another manifestation of ego. So for some of you, if you're medium or psychic, when you learn that at the beginning, you kind of wonder, well, was that my voice or was that the angel voice, the spirit, so let go of self-doubt. It is still an identity which you use to create a manifest behavior. It is a self-inoculating cycle that is controlled by choice. If you indulge in self-doubt, you will constantly criticize your own work and results, doubting any perceived information. The last point I want to talk about is to let go of the outcome. Non-attachment is an ancient teaching. It is a lifelong practice that absolutely applies to manifestation. And I'm hoping I'm not wrong, but it's also found in Eastern religion. Correct, friend? Create energy around yourself or surrendering to the process. You as energy are affected by countless forms of other energy, including people. And that's the most you can be affected by. I constantly tell people that you are affected, for example, work. I don't know if you've seen things online. A lot of people aren't satisfied with their job. Not just the job, but the people surrounding them because they're very toxic. You go home, you're exhausted, you become sick. And this does not only pertain to coworkers, it pertains to family, it pertains to friends. I am one who has cut out a lot of people out of my life. People I used to talk to that are considered friends, but then I realized they're making me sick. I could no longer deal with them. So I changed my phone number. Very effective. They cannot call me. They cannot ask me, can you do a reading? No, I don't want your bad energy. It's very, very toxic. It brings you down and it can affect all aspects of your life. Create a life of practice, of discipline, and of study. If you keep looking to that future of what has not yet happened and place all your energy there, then you are missing the moment, which is between the past and the future. And it is how you live in the moment that you will create the space for all that you desire to manifest. Now, I'm not telling you to let go of your memories from your families. I mean, I will always remember my mom and dad. The cat I lost when, the first cat I got when I moved to the United States. I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm telling you to focus on yourself. I just spoke to somebody who works at another university who's going through divorce, and I told her, I said, this is a time for you to think of yourself. You are number one. Even if you are married or in a relationship, you have to put yourself first, not because I want you to be selfish, but because if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of that person? How are you going to take care of your animals or your children? You have to make sure that you take care of yourself first. It is important for your mental and physical state. And you need to live in the present. Now we can dream, it's fine. It's nice to look out for the future and see what we could do. I visualize a lot, but I'm not thinking in the future. I'm thinking I have my house in France with my swimming pool and I can rescue dogs, animals, but I am not living in the future anymore. When my son tells me, hey, what's for supper? I don't know. I'm living in the present. When I come to the house and I'm hungry, I'll start figuring out what's in the fridge. My mom used to make a list of groceries, of meals that we were going to eat every day. And, I was like, that sounds good, but I don't want to do that because I'm looking at the future. I'm wiser. I'm not going to say I'm the other thing that we say when you are past 40, according to my kids, once you're 25, you're old. Or when you pass 20 years old, you're old. And my daughter is 28, so I don't know. But you have to think in the present. It's very important for your health, for your mental health, your physical health. And just take care of yourself because you're number one priority. It's nothing to do with selfishness. I had to teach myself that. I used to say, well, what about this person? What about that person? No, Isabelle, you're number one. You know, I'm the queen. You're the queens. You are the kings. You have to take care of yourself. It is important. You can't take care of somebody who's sick if you're sick. You know, you can't drive your car if you have flat tires. So what are you going to do? You got to fix that. And you need to learn how to fix that. Well, unless you have a good friend who can help you out. But that's why phone calls are for. I would like to thank you for listening to my talk today. I wish you all the best, and I wish you to live in the present. Do not stop dreaming, visualizing, because that's how you can access what you want in the near present. So thank you very much. God bless you.